Yes, sir.
Google Earth.
So we are going to begin with the chapter Europe and Africa. And first, we are going to talk about the continent Europe. Now, if you can see this, this is actually Google Earth, and that gives us a satellite view of our Earth, right? This is, though it is an animated software, but still it gives us lots of information. I just want to highlight few things that you might have read it in your junior classes, right? So the first thing is that I want you all to, just tell me, can you see these lines?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I just 1 minute.
The latitude and longitude.
These are long.
These are representing the latitude and longitude.
Very good. Very, very, very good. So
Sir, latitudes are parallel to each other, and sir, the longitude meet at the poles.
exactly. Now see, these are latitudes. Sorry, these are longitudes, and these horizontal ones are latitudes. These are known as longitudes, and these are latitudes. Yeah. Now, what is the job of these two imaginary lines? They both are imaginary. They both are imaginary. Okay. They do not exist, but we, for our own sake, for our own job, to get our own job done, we have drawn these imaginary lines throughout the earth. Now, so this is the latitudes and longitudes. They both are imaginary, and they help us to locate the places on this earth, right? So this is the job of the latitudes and longitude. Now, why I have told you about these latitudes and longitudes in this class of Europe? Because I want you all to understand the extent, the geographical location of Europe, right? So now I just want you to understand one simple thing. See, this is the prime meridian. Can you see this? This center line, that is the yellow line that you can see. This is prime meridian. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And this is the line which actually help us to calculate the time on the planet Earth. Now this is the straight line that goes down. And coming to this part, if you see this yellow line which is drawn horizontally, this is equator. What is it? Equator.
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 Now what happens? This is the meeting point of prime meridian and equator. Can you see can you see this? If you can see it properly, this is prime meridian and this is equator, and this is the meeting point. This is prime meridian and equator. They are both meeting at this point. Now what does equator do? Divides
the earth into two equal parts.
into north and south hemisphere. Okay, and this prime meridian divides
Into western and
Earth.
eastern hemisphere.
Eastern and western hemisphere.
into
Eastern and western hemisphere.
western and eastern hemisphere. Okay, so this concept is clear to all of you. What is divided by
Yes, sir.
this? Now this is very important. Why this was very important to understand? This concept was very, very fundamental, and you should be clear to this, right? It divides. So we have 4 hemispheres. One is eastern, the second one is western, then third one is northern, and the fourth one is southern. So these are the 4 hemispheres, and the prime meridian and the equator divides them, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Now, yeah.
Sir, can I go to washroom?
Yeah, go. Now we're coming back to Europe. Now, if you see this, just one second. Okay. So I think you're getting a quite a proper. So if you open your books, so we'll find it out the extent of Europe. Now, latitudinal and longitudinal extent. When I say longitudinal extent, okay, whenever I say longitudinal extent, I mean to say from here to here. Longitudes are always calculated west and east, whereas latitudes are always calculated north to south. So this is the first line which is drawn horizontally gives us the longitudinal extent, and the vertical line that I have drawn, that is actually the latitudinal extent. Acha, there is something you should understand when we talk about the latitudinal extent. If you see this, here it is, I think 35° north. Is it given 35° north in your book? Open up.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And below it is given around 75° north.
So
73 degrees.
Sir, 73° north.
73° north. I'm sorry. Mistaken. 73° north. Okay. Now, what about the longitudinal extent? I think 25° west to 65°.
65° east.
65 degrees.
45 degrees.
65° east.
East.
65° east. Okay. Now this means that if we consider prime meridian, some part of Europe, I think major part of Europe lies in the eastern hemisphere and some part of Europe lies in the western hemisphere. But if we talk about northern and southern hemisphere, we will understand that Europe is situated in the northern hemisphere because Europe is above equator. Rather, if you see that it is above Tropic of Cancer also. It is above equator. So the area above equator is the northern hemisphere and the area below equator is the southern hemisphere. Is it clear? So this was the
Yes.
latitudinal and the longitudinal extent of Europe. I just want to show you this thing, that where is Greenwich? See, Greenwich is a place in London, and that is the place where the when this line was made, this imaginary line was made, and the reference to the prime meridian is always given from Greenwich meridian. Okay. Now Greenwich is a small village in London, in the outskirts of the London, from which this prime meridian passes. They have made a steel line in the Greenwich city. I don't remember. I had seen it. Let me see if I can find it for you on the net. That was pretty nice to see that. Just going through Europe. Prime meridian. Can you see? Can you see the images? Hello?
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now you see this.
Yes.
Here is why Greenwich prime meridian is actually in the wrong. That is something different. But see, they have made this line. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
This is just to make it a significant that this is the Greenwich line that passes from this place. So that is actually the place which tells us about the imaginary line of prime meridian which passes from here, and that helps us in calculating the time throughout the world. Okay, so I think the geographical location of Europe is clear to most of you. It's quite clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I will be proceeding further today uh, of this chapter. So geographical location, please open up the chapter. Mithani, please switch it on. Please open up your chapter Europe.
Sir, open.
Okay, start reading it.
Okay, sir. Sir, from learning terms?
You can start from learning terms. Please, all of you, please focus on the learning terms.
Peninsula. A large stretch of land surrounded by sea, except for one side through which it is connected to a large landmass.
Hmm.
Fjord. A deep
Okay,
inlet of
just
sea
a second,
between
just a second, Nithani. Can you come again with that? Can you come again with that? First one.
peninsula.
Hmm.
A large stretch of land surrounded by sea, except for one side through which it is connected to a large landmass.
Okay, now if you observe this continent of Europe, just observe the continent of Europe. See, this is the boundary of Europe. Whatever am I tracing? Can you all see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm tracing the boundary of. I think I'm doing a good job here. First time I'm feeling that I can use my pen so smartly.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
See,
sir.
I have done lots of hard work to use this smart pen, you know.
Sir, you have traced it along the main itself.
Now see, if you see this, we have water body, first water body, second water body, third water body. So it is surrounded by water bodies on three sides, but this side, no water body. Yes, and this is the reason why it is known as peninsula. This is the reason why it is known as peninsula. So Europe is in actually a large peninsula because it's surrounded by water on three sides. Is that
Three
clear?
sides.
Exactly.
India is also a peninsula.
India is also a peninsula. Exactly. Okay. Then the next one. Read it.
Fjord.
Fjord.
A deep inlet of sea.
Hmm.
Fjord. A deep inlets of sea between high cliffs. They are formed through erosion by glaciers.
Okay. Now fjords are actually deep inlets of sea. Am I right, Nithani? Is it written deep inlets of sea?
Yes, sir.
Now these
Yes.
deep inlets of seas are formed because of the erosion. Now what is erosion? Erosion is actually a geographical process where something gets eroded in the form it becomes lower. Like for example, mountains are losing their height because the rivers from the mountains bring all the material and it is peeling off the mountains layer by layer and layer by layer. That is also that is kind of erosion. Now what happens in these areas? Glaciers are quite common, and when glaciers melt, they remove the upper layer of the mountains and the land areas, and then they form large spaces, and from these large spaces the sea water gets in. These are known as fjords. So let me show you fjords in Europe. If you can see this, can you see this network? Can you see this network?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
दिख रहा है आपको यहाँ
Yes,
पे?
sir.
I want to show you. ये देखो. This is sea water entering inside. Here. Sea water is entering from here also. Then sea water is entering from here also. Can you see so many inlets are there? ये देखो.
Yes, sir.
These are also known as finger-like projections. These are all finger-like projections. Just one.
Sir, they are forming like intercontinental channel.
You can say, but these are very good. They have an advantage also. ये देखो ये कितना, it's so deep inside. Can you see this? Now, what are
Yes,
these?
sir.
this is known as
Okay, look.
fjords.
Hmm.
Fjords. Okay, and they are good for
So ships.
constructing harbors. And if you try to understand in a geographical term, they become automatically they become a harbor. So you can also say they act as natural harbors.
So they are good centers for trading.
But
For what?
obviously they will be a good center for trading, because if they can accommodate so many ships, so the ships from other countries and continents can come to Europe. And this is the reason why Atlantic Ocean is known as the busiest ocean of the world, because of the trading activity that takes place across the countries between European countries and the North American countries. This is the reason why it is known as one of the busiest continents of the world, busiest ocean of the world, right? So this was the George. Okay, I'm saving all these screenshots, so I will be sending them on the group. Okay, then what's next?
So fold mountains.
Okay,
Mountains form due to buckling of the crust of the earth under the influence of the compressional forces beneath the surface of the earth.
it's beneath the surface of the earth. Okay, now see what happens. How are these mountains formed? Suppose these are the plates. These are the tectonic plates. Now, because of the compressional process, compressional means when we try to push each towards each other, the land starts crumbling down. Are you understanding? It starts
Yes,
crumbling down. And can you see what structure is it taking? A structure of a mountain.
mountain.
They are actually getting folded. Syncline, anticline. Remember, you read it in class 6.
Yes,
In
sir.
the
Yes,
next
sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, down is
The down is
that was this. Then next one. Please be very quick, huh?
so
Then,
next is intermountain plains.
now intermountain plains. If you remember, you read about intermountain plateaus in class 6 in North America as well in South
Yes,
America.
sir. So the plateau surrounded by mountains.
Similarly,
side.
the plain surrounded by mountains is known as intermountain plains. You will find these plains in these regions. अगर आप ध्यान से एक चीज को देखो ध्यान से, ये जो region है, जो green region है, let me tell you one thing. Talking about the physical features, see, we'll have mountains over here, we have mountains over here, we have here. It's all over. Okay, either also. So this area which is left, this becomes the intermountain plains. ये plain area है, and it's so beautiful, मतलब you will feel like that you should live there. Very, very beautiful. This is the reason why Europe is one of the most beautiful destinations of this world. Okay, all right, then next one.
Sir, island.
That's quite easy. Island is a water body, is a land mass which is surrounded by water on all sides. For example, if you want to see this is Ireland. Can you see this Ireland?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is
Yes.
Ireland. And if you
Sir.
can see, let me play the tracing game again. This is Ireland. Now, can you see that it is surrounded by water on all sides?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
यहाँ पे water
Yes,
है,
sir.
इधर also, this here also, there also. So this is an island. ठीक है? Then next one.
Sir, Rift Valley.
Please read it.
A narrow, steep-sided valley formed between two parallel faults.
This is the flat ground. Now, what happens if you remember the chapter that we read last year, that was landform chapter, you must have drawn this diagram also.
Yes, sir.
Some diagram like this. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Remember this diagram
Yes,
that
sir.
people have drawn?
Yes, sir.
So this
Yes, sir.
part,
Yes.
this part is down, this part is up. The part which goes up becomes a block mountain, and the part which goes down becomes a rift valley.
Rift Valley.
Rift Valley.
Okay. Then next,
The host.
then next
Then
one.
next the chapter began.
Sir,
Okay.
chapter.
Okay, Nithani, read the chapter.
Okay, sir. Europe. Europe is a rather small continent. In terms of area, it ranks sixth among the 7 continents of the world.
Hmm.
Location. Europe lies entirely in the northern hemisphere. The
Okay,
latitudinal.
so this is important thing to remember, that it lies in the northern
Northern hemisphere.
hemisphere. Okay, as it is above equator.
Equator.
As it is above equator. Okay. Then next.
So the latitudinal extension of Europe is 35° north and 73° north, whereas its longitudinal extension is 25° west and 65° east.
Okay, so this also we have read it. We have already done that. Okay. Then
The prime meridian, 0° longitude, passes through Greenwich near London.
okay, this is also I have shown you. This is
Yes.
Greenwich in London. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then
Boundaries. Europe is a peninsula. It is surrounded by seas on its 3 sides, except the eastern.
that also I have explained you at some while ago when you were reading the definition of peninsula. Then
Yes. In the north, it is bordered by the Arctic Ocean.
okay, just hold on. Now if we talk about this, just a second. All right, yeah, please go.
In the
Yeah.
west, it is bordered by Atlantic Ocean.
Just a second. Atlantic Ocean in the west.
In the south, it is bordered by Mediterranean Sea.
Okay, this is Mediterranean Sea. Then
Ural Mountains and Ural River separate the continent from Asia.
so this is somewhere here we have the Ural Mountains, and somewhere here is the Ural River that drains into Caspian Sea, right? So this is the if you really want to see this, let me show you this. Just 1 second. Ural Sea is somewhere here. Ural River, sorry, not sea. Down here. This is Volga River. Oh. This is sometimes it becomes very, let me search it. It will come out fast. Ural River. The way it goes up and then it comes down looks so, this is Ural River. Can you see this? If I annotate it, you'll understand this. This one.
Yes, sir.
Can you all see this?
Yes, sir.
And above this Ural River only, you have the structure of Ural Mountains. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then next one.
Coastline. The coastline of Europe is highly indented, broken due to large number of enclosed seas and bays.
Now it is highly indented. Now, what do you mean by if I say highly indented? It is broken. Just now, if I explain you, children, you see this region. Why? No, I show you the broken lines. Fjords are there. That is highly indented, and this region is actually good for shipping. Is that clear?
Yes.
Mithani, we stop here today, and we'll proceed with the other part of the chapter in the next class. Tomorrow we have a GK, and I think I have sent a current affairs sheet to you all. Remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So whatever we
Yes,
have,
sir.
Yes, sir.
whatever we have done in GK, in the GK book,